Hello everybody and welcome to Not For Broadcast VR. Decently unknown
National Nightly News.
VR game. Dun dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun dun dun. Not For Broadcast. So this is Not For Broadcast VR. This shit goes hard. Living in a paradise. It's all real nice if you don't think twice.
Hi David, I have a call for you. I'm just putting it through. Alright mate, Dave here. Listen, I know you've only come in to clean up the place, but I've got a bit caught up, so you're gonna have to run the news tonight. Now don't worry, it's not hard and I'm gonna stay on the phone and help you. First, I'm gonna give you a quick tour of the broadcast room, so if you're not doing it already, look forwards towards all those screens. Right, look up at the top. That coloured bar is your audience. You want to keep the viewers going up and not down. Underneath that, you've got the screens.
Yep, that's
the
up.
one on the right is the broadcast screen. That's what the viewers are seeing at home. It's only a couple of seconds behind the master screen there in the middle. That's the one you control. Now, the four small screens on the left show the different signals coming from the studio, and you can choose between them using the numbered buttons on the vision mixer
Sorry, I had to adjust my seat. It's really weird.
at the bottom left. Don't worry, I'll talk you through it and you'll pick it up in no time. Now, have a look to your left. These plugs control everything in the studio. I've left them set up for you, so provided you haven't fiddled with them, all you have to do now is throw the master trip switch and we're in business. Once you've got the power on, face the front again. You can see on the broadcast screen that we're in the end titles for the show before us. Fortunately, they go on for fucking ages, so there's plenty of time for me to explain. Oh, right, okay, they're over, so we haven't got long now till the broadcast. Right, quickly, mate, look down under the desk. You can see a load of videotapes on the left. They're your adverts. Pick any three and load them into the machines on the right. When you've done that, look up to the front again. Right, won't be long now till the signal starts coming through from the station. Stay on your toes. All the bigwigs are in tonight because of the election, so we better not make any mistakes.
You got it.
When you get the signal, select
Jacket
screen one with the
potatoes.
vision mixer and we're ready to go.
Jacket potatoes, jacket potatoes.
We prawns every day.
10 seconds, everybody. How I show love.
You're trying to kill me.
And yet you persist. Going in 5, 4.
4, 3.
Good evening. I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Our main stories tonight.
Okay, we're all good. Next is going to be to throw the news titles on screen 2. There'll be a countdown, but I'll count you in as well. Just relax, mate. It's all gravy.
Buys Honest Andy's Totally Independent and corners the flowered market. Top chat. Sports fans everywhere celebrate as popular footballer Johnny Hamsleeves wins Sports Personality of the Year. And a spoonful of sugar. Meghan will be chatting with movie star Lawrence Blunderclatch about his new movie, The Medicated. And, of course, we'll be going live to Advance
Medicated
headquarters
is crazy.
to hear what the leaders of this fledgling party have to say on their historic...
Right, button
That's
2
all coming up on
in
tonight.
3,
National
2,
Nightly News.
1. Now, lovely, mate. Next thing is to throw back to Jeremy with button 1 when that globe in the middle shrinks down and vanishes.
Apparently this game gets decently dark, but this just seems like a silly, goofy news game. With Jeremy Donaldson.
Here it comes. Switch to screen 1. Now, lovely, mate.
First, the votes are in and it's a decisive win for Advance.
We often get a bit of interference around this time, mate.
What?
Keep your eye on that machine at the bottom right and use the slider that's flashing there to move the wave up and down, keeping the green bit and the white bit.
But critics have accused him of a severe lack of actual policies and of being deliberately vague. The opposition parties have all conceded defeat to Advance's overwhelming mandate, but have yet to appear publicly. However, former Home Secretary
Right, it's
Jeffrey
going well. All you've got to do now is play the advert at the end of the segment. Make sure you don't play it too early or we'll all get fired. Now the clock at the top is counting you down to the advert. When it reaches 0, press one of the 3 play ad buttons over there at the bottom right. I normally play the first one at the first break and so on, but you can play them in any order you want. I'll count you into it as well, but keep your eye on the clock.
To hear the co-leader's acceptance speech.
And 3, 2, 1, advert.
1 minute back, everybody. Jeremy, I need you to fill after the ads.
What? Why?
Wanker Snatch is running late.
Oh,
I thought I'd ask him about
Movie? This is not some child's tale. This is not a dream. This is reality. This is the story of you and how you're stupid and asleep. It's about how you were promised the Elysian fields, but you ended up filleting Satan for the salty...
Wicked. We've made it to the first ad break. You're doing great, mate. But this is where it starts getting a bit trickier. This next sequence is what we call a multicam sequence, because you're going to be cutting between multiple cameras to keep things interesting. A lot of it's down to personal taste, but here's 3 good rules of thumb. 1. Try and keep the shot on whoever is doing the talking. 2.
Got it.
Don't stay on the same shot for too long.
Got
10
it.
seconds at the most. So if you're on the person who's talking, try and throw in the odd reaction shot or pull out to the wide shot for a bit just to keep it interesting. 3. Don't stay on reaction shots for too long. A couple of seconds is usually enough. Then the audience want to see who's doing the talking, yeah? Stick to these rules and you'll be fine. It's not as complicated as it sounds. You've seen programs on television, haven't you? Make it look like those. Might as well get screen 1 selected.
It's much easier when you're the one watching.
To start, try and stay ahead, mate.
Tour, Alan James is right in front of you.
Alan James.
I'm Alan James.
It's right in front of you.
James.
Alan James is right.
Alan James.
I'm Alan James.
Coming to a city near you.
You.
Check local press for dates and times.
Jeremy.
welcome back. Later we'll be hearing from shock election winners Advance. But first
Get
off,
ready to go to
British
Megan on
reporter
screen
Megan
4.
Wolf is here with a star of both stage and screen. Megan?
Thank you, Jeremy. Megan Wolf, culture correspondent. And today I have a guest who starred in everything from Shakespeare
Right,
to the
go to
Shop
Blunderclatch
Box
on screen 3 when she says his
joined
name.
today by none other than Lawrence Blunderclatch. Thank you so much for coming on.
Oh, my dear, I do hope you believe me when I tell you that being with you here today is among
Switch
the...
to 2 for the wide now.
May I say, having you here with us is among ours.
Right, now just try and stay on whoever's
Film
talking.
your latest movie, which is called The Medicated.
The medicated, yes.
Wow, what was that like?
Well, as I said to Peter at the Rat, that's Peter Jensen, the director.
Give us a look at Megan's reaction.
He's a wonderful
Lovely.
chap,
Now
really
back to
is.
Thunder Twat.
I worked with him
Thunder
several
Twat
years,
is crazy.
alternately successful. I said to Peter, what a wild ride this has been. And do you know what, Megan? I really meant that.
Wow, that is fantastic. And am I right in saying that the character you play in this movie is quite an academic one?
Absolutely right. A scientist.
Was that a challenge at all?
What exactly are you implying? But seriously, yes, you're right. It was a complete departure from my last starring role when I played Sergeant
Get the wide shot.
Rockman
Always,
in
always,
Bullet
always.
Man.
Gotta get the wide.
You'll remember that was the
Game
true
looks pretty
story
good.
of one soldier's fight for a love that surpasses all others. A love, of course, for freedom. I think it's grossed over $1 billion, but honestly, who's counting?
It's a role that saw you scoop 2 Best Actor awards, if I remember correctly.
It's so sweet of you to mention it, but I really am not in it for the awards, although those 3 little statues do take pride of place on my mantelpiece.
With all the others, I'm sure. So, if you're not doing it for the awards, what is it then that drives you?
Oh, that is a beautiful question, Megan, and not easy to answer.
What?
Like you, I'm afraid. Cut me, and I will bleed. And often, that's how it feels, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Bleeding, giving, suffering for one's audience.
Alright. This game seems
I
pretty
suppose
simple.
in the end, I do it for the difference it makes.
The thing I love is that these are all real people out there. Like, these are real people out in the world.
But most of all, I think I do it
This
for
is-
the
That's your bit long.
I can bring about in the world.
And today, of course, we're in for some real change, it looks like, in the coming few months. What do you make of this historic election result?
Oh, well. Well, now you're asking. Historic election result. Indeed. Historic is the word. Well, it's difficult, isn't it? Very difficult. But I think I've always been quite clear that when it comes to politics, that one should always strive to not fuck things up.
Shit, he swore. Oh, well, don't worry, he won't do it again.
Sorry, I said fuck.
Shit, he did it again. Okay, don't panic. I'll explain how to deal with swearing at the break.
Medicated, which opens next week.
I've swapped the shot of Jeremy on screen 1 for a VT of the movie clip. You'll get a countdown on the screen, but I'll just let Megan cue you in.
My character, Dr. Lance Hemlock, is faced with a decision that could affect humanity's very survival.
Exciting stuff. Let's take a look.
There we go. Grandma's got a meth lab.
Losing it in the studio, but we ain't got time for that. There's more interference coming. It's a bit trickier this time, mate. Use that little flashing joystick
This
to
one?
the left of the slider, and as the frequency changes, match it to the white bit by gently pushing the stick to the right.
It's not your fault.
You think I don't know that?
Now we're going to squash the frequency back by dragging left.
No, we mustn't. Think of Carol.
That's Dr. Lance to you, Miss Flanagan.
Abuse.
Jubbly, mate.
For you, baby.
Next, we're going to change the amplitude. Same as last time, but this time, move the joystick up. Upwards, mate, upwards.
Right, 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 right.
But I didn't listen.
Doctor,
I'm drowning, Lance, you said.
you need to see this.
No, don't.
Right, now let's match it back by going downwards.
Hurts my arms.
The virus. The sterility. This formula. This is the key.
Stop it all.
Bloody perfect, mate.
We have to ask ourselves.
Shit, we're about
At
to
the
get
end of the
one
clip, you'll want to play another ad. Remember to use the clock at the top to count you in.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Right, I guess I better explain how to deal with bleeping out swear words.
Definitely.
As you've probably noticed, the broadcast screen here is about 2 seconds behind the master screen.
Here.
When someone says a naughty word, the bleep button lights up like this. 2 seconds later, you'll hear that swear word going out on the broadcast, and you need to hold down the censor button for as long as the swear word lasts. It can take a bit of practice getting used to hearing 2 things at once. Just stay calm and you'll get it. And if you can't tell when to play, just have the button up and you'll be able to see the sound scrolling by. All you gotta do is hold it down while the red bit is over the red line. Simple. Of course, if you do it by eye, you'll have to take your eye off the screens. That's why real professionals do it by ear. Most people like to have the volume of the broadcast screen a little bit below the master screen. Let's set it now.
Hey, that's a nice
As
hole.
you turn it up, you'll hear the advert getting louder. Good. It's set to start censoring. Like I say, it takes a little practice, but I'll try and help you through it, and soon we'll have you bleeping like a pro. Remember, button lights up, count 1, 2, and hold it down.
Only 85 minutes from the coast, and with more than 2 areas of outstanding natural interest. Isn't it time your
Remember
family
to select screen 1 now that you've got the feed. Don't wait for the broadcast to go live, that's too late. You can use the vision mixing buttons on the left to select the screen you want.
Seriously?
We've had worse. 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back. And I'm told we can now go
Welcome
back
back.
with
That
Lance. And I'm
ad
told
was
we can now go
terrible.
two leaders, Peter Clement and Julia Salisbury, are about to
Take
make their
holiday.
acceptance address.
That was ass. That was a terrible
Cut
advert.
to the outside broadcast. Oh
for
shit,
it,
he's
Pat.
pissed. Get ready to bleep.
Well, thank you all for coming, and, well, where do I start?
What a day.
They said we couldn't do it.
They certainly did.
They used every dirty, low-down, lying southern bastard trick they had against us. But you, the people, you saw right through their shite.
I'm sorry about the language there.
Sorry about that. I've had a couple of celebratory pints. Makes me coarser than a Granny's fanny.
Memorably put.
Nailed it.
But to be honest, who can blame Peter for celebrating? Throughout the campaign, you've heard us say that Advance are not a political party. A party's what you have when things are going well. When the country is suffering, you don't need a party. You need a team. A team that can change things. But today is day one of a new future. A better, fairer future. So perhaps we should all be celebrating.
Except for the rich. For them, the party's over. They shouldn't be celebrating. They should be putting their shitting pants on and opening their dusty checkbooks.
Again, colourfully put, but not inaccurate. Before we came out here to address the nation, we used our executive powers to pass the Assets and Wealth Act. Working with the tax office, we have produced a definitive list of every person in the country with wealth into the millions.
You know the sort of... Probably you rather you don't. Because the likes of you and me are not welcome in their gated communities.
Tomorrow, we will be introducing a sweeping reform of the tax system in this country. No more hiding wealth offshore, no more trust funds or creative accounting. A simpler, fairer, unavoidable set of tax laws.
So all you bastard public school snobs have got nowhere to hide. And earlier today, we revoked your passports. You want them back? You want to leave like you threatened before the election? That's fine. But first, you're going to pay up. You're going to pay back.
Advance are going to turn this country from a nation of warring individuals into a team. To properly fund health and education. To raise the living standards of us all.
The pundits said we'd have to raise billions. But you'll see when we've reclaimed what's ours, that's absolute ferret shite. So to you posh twats.
The people who pay you a pittance to serve them drinks in their private clubs. The people whose children you raise.
So they've got time to get even fucking richer.
Advance have this to say to you.
It ends today.
We are coming for your sports cars and your mansions and your vineyards.
It ends today.
We will put the wealth of this country back where it should have always been. In the hands of the people who created it.
It ends today.
Yes, it ends today. And tomorrow, we'll start making it fair again. Just like we promised we would.
And until then, ladies and gents, I suggest we all get pissed.
I can't argue with that. Thank you for your time. Well, an interesting acceptance speech there from the leaders of Advance. And our apologies for the fruity language. Hopefully we got that bleeped out for you in time. If not, someone's going to be in trouble. So, as the country braces itself for a new government, that's all for us this evening at the National Nightly News. We'll be back
You say
tomorrow
potatoes,
with
jacket,
full coverage of the
potatoes,
first day
jacket,
under
potatoes.
I'm Jeremy
You
Johnson.
say potatoes,
Have a
jacket,
peaceful-
potatoes, jacket, potatoes.
And we're out. Good job, everybody. Same again tomorrow. Call times are on the board.
Right, looks like you've got it now. Thanks for all the help, mate. I've got to go. Ferry's about to leave. Probably won't be coming back. Job's yours, mate. Good luck.
I'm dying now or something.
I'm sorry, what'd you say? You won't be coming back?
See you tomorrow night.
Buddy?
Not coming for a drink?
No, got a date.
Lucky you. Try not to get murdered.
She's gonna get murdered. I got a feeling. Shut it off. Shut it off, boys. Shut it off. Oh, broadcast complete. Was it like 20 minutes?
Finished. You'll get a broadcast report. It's 3 pages. This first page shows you how well the broadcast went. Each sequence and an overall grade. Remember, grades mean bonuses and they keep the boss happy. If you want to know more about how it went, select more info. If not, select continue to move to the next page. Right, this is the important page. It tells you how much you're going to get.
Current
paid
wealth,
and how
broke
much
ass
wealth you have
for.
overall.
Nice.
That bollocks at the bottom shows you the financial state of our main advertiser. advertisers, but you don't own any fucking shares. You're a cleaner, for God's sake, so why would you care? This is the last page, and it tells you the state of the world, tells you how well the government's doing, and down the bottom there, this one's important, tells you what Channel 1 currently thinks of you. In other words, what the boss thinks. Alright, mate, welcome to the archive. This is where you can have a quick look back at what you've done and how it looked to the public. There's 3 sections: broadcast, rushes, and adverts. Let's start with broadcast. Pop in there now. Over on the left, that's all the broadcasts that you've done. Choose any one of them and select load tape. Once it's finished loading, you can use the rewind and fast forward